With higher prices, squeezed consumers are putting fewer items in their baskets, and grocers are starting to take note.
Prices at the pump continue to increase, but it's not just the war in Iran that's driving up the cost.
Because what about the people that don't have stock?
Exactly.
I'm just talking about people that are living day to day.
We all suffer that feeling when we're at the grocery store and the total on the scanner just keeps climbing higher and higher, and the amount of food in our basket keeps getting smaller and smaller. Or when you fill up with gas and 20 bucks doesn't even get you half a tank. That's the quiet reality of our financial system. The dollar that you work so hard for just doesn't stretch anymore. It's a slow leak that you might not notice every day, but over months and years, it's the reason why you feel like you're running faster just to stay in the same place.
I want to be clear about why some of the anxiety is popping up among regular Americans.
Exactly, because what about the people that don't have stock?
Exactly.
I'm just talking about people that are living day to day.
Exactly. So what we know, we had a bank rate survey that came in and said, how many people have gotten a raise in the last year? And in this survey, just about half of people said, yeah, I got a raise over the last year. But that means about half did not. And so the cumulative effect of inflation, prices at the grocery store, prices for daycare, prices for housing, prices for healthcare, that is putting pressure on people.
Most people think that building wealth is off limits unless you're already rich. They think it's all about complicated stocks or real estate deals. But what if there's a way to build real, tangible store of value, even on the tightest of budgets, completely outside the regular system? It's not about getting rich quick. If that's what you're looking for, this video might not be for you. It's about becoming financially secure and building wealth slowly. And if you're like me, slowly is all you can afford. Today we're going to be talking about why a lot of broke people are turning their paper cash into real, physical silver. And this isn't a sales pitch. I'm going to show you how to do it for free. No dealers, no agents, and no bullshit.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Let's start with some basics. Paper money, credit, debit, it's all fiat currency. Fiat basically means that the value comes from the government saying that it has value.
What is the lesson for someone holding dollars today?
Well, I think if you're holding dollars, you have to recognize that there's a great uncertainty that that paper money is really only tied to the coercive power of the federal government.
Unlike money from the past, it's not backed by a physical thing like gold or silver. And because of this, governments and central banks can create more of it whenever their math requires it. This, of course, leads to that thing that we've all been feeling lately, inflation.
This is a mock monthly household budget for an American family in 1985. If we compare that to a hypothetical budget in 2022, we can see that most expenses scaled with inflation, with a few exceptions. Rent, out-of-pocket healthcare costs, and childcare are notably more expensive in 2022, even when accounting for inflation. And costs associated with retirement increased by more than 60%. But these numbers are not accounting for a big X factor, consumer debt, such as credit cards and student loans. Total outstanding consumer credit was nearly $600 billion in December 1985. By 2022, it was nearly $4.9 trillion.
Now, inflation tends to be a complex force, but basically, when the money supply expands, each dollar tends to buy a little bit less. That's called currency debasement. It's the reason why a cup of coffee that cost $1 20 years ago costs $5 today. It's why your grandparents' stories of buying a house on a single-family income sounds like it was a fantasy. Pundits will say that wages can sometimes rise to help offset this, but they never do. And the long-term trend for paper fiat currency is a steady decline in what it can buy. Which brings us to silver. Now stick with me here because you can be broke and still do this. For millennia, stacking silver and gold was a way for people to hedge against inflation and currency debasement. In fact, for most of history, silver and gold have been the primary sources of physical wealth. Until recent times, silver and gold were the currency. They were money. Silver and gold backed every single transaction that you made. But today, not so much. To be successful at building wealth this way, you have to think of it as trading a portion of your money from a banking system that's slowly draining your wealth into a tangible asset, into something that actually backs your earnings.
The U.S. national debt has now reached nearly $40 trillion, 39.6 according to the Treasury. Now, that is about $115,000 for every American. But here's a number that stops me. The interest on that debt alone is now running closer to $1 trillion a year, according to the Congressional Budget Office. Now, roughly what the country spends on its entire military just to service what it already owes.
Of course, silver is not a magic bullet. Its price is volatile and it can go up as well as down. But the core idea is simple. They can print endless paper currency, but they can't print more silver. It's a finite resource. And that, my friends, is called purchase power. And fiat currency just doesn't have it. Stick around because later I'm going to tell you the story of how I personally got started stacking silver. And I did it for free. So you're on a tight budget, but you want to start protecting your money, or maybe even build that emergency fund that everybody always talks about. Where do you begin? For a lot of people, the answer isn't in big, shiny silver bars. It's something you might even have in your pocket or under a couch cushion, maybe in your car. I'm talking about constitutional silver.
So now let's talk about junk silver. We're talking about 90%, guys. Also known as constitutional silver, these are US coins minted before 1965. Dimes, quarters, half dollars, and they're 90% silver by weight. So what are the advantages? They're highly recognizable, especially in the US. They're great for bartering or emergency trade, and they typically carry a historical trust factor. And smaller units make it easier to use in low value exchanges. So what are the disadvantages? Worn condition, it doesn't look impressive. And you need to calculate melt value when buying. That's not as straightforward as an ounce of bullion.
Constitutional silver is just a nickname for US dimes, quarters, and half dollars that were minted in 1964 or before. Before 1965, these coins weren't the copper-clad sandwiches that you see today, right? They were made of 90% silver. Some people call it junk silver, but don't let that name fool you. Junk just means that these coins don't have any special value or any rarity for collectors. Their worth comes directly from the silver content inside them. A 1964 quarter is still stamped 25 cents, and if you take it to the corner store, it will buy 25 cents worth of goods. But because of its silver content, its actual value in mid-2026 is many times higher than that, and you can sell it for what the silver is actually worth. That's what makes this such a perfect starting point. Since these coins are still fairly common, you might even have some laying around. That jar of change that you keep dropping coins into, all that loose change in your car, it could be a silver mine.
We have been sorting for about a day and a half. I mean, not solid, but it's been about a day and a half of rolling coins. The whole family got involved. And here's what we came up with. Let me show you what we got. So of currency that is just basically ready to go back to the bank, so stuff that's not overly collectible, we rolled up $429 and how much?
40 cents.
And 40 cents worth of rolls and a few loose coins. There's stacks of $1 and $2 coins. There's silver wartime American nickels, steel wartime US pennies. A lot of this is silver dollars and silver 50-cent pieces. These are all 90% or 80% silver coins. There's two fairly big boxes of them. Those are all old Buffalo nickels and earlier nickels. And a whole bunch of old coin sets, just stacks and stacks. And those are 50-cent pieces and dollar coins in there as well.
So how do you spot one in the wild? There are 3 easy checks. First is the date. If you find a US dime, quarter, or half dollar dated 1964 or earlier, it's 90% silver. It's also worth grabbing Kennedy half dollars from 65 to 70, as they have a 40% silver content. Second is the edge. Look at the side of a modern coin. You'll see a copper stripe. A 90% silver coin doesn't have that. Its edge is a solid uniform silver color. It may be dirty, but it's a silver color. Third is the magnet test. Use a small magnet to check your coin. It should not be magnetic. There should be no attraction whatsoever. That way you're ensuring you don't have a steel coin or a foreign coin or some kind of counterfeit or slug. Now, I'm going to show you how I got started stacking silver and built it into a meaningful stack for free. 1. Now for the most powerful part of this strategy, especially if you have almost no starting cash: coin roll hunting. This is where you get coins from a bank, search them for silver, and then return the ones that you don't keep. Done right, the only thing you spend is your time.
This may look like an innocent roll of $50, but what I'm about to tell you could get you some free silver. So when you go to the bank next time you're there, ask them if they have any rolls of $50 in stock, and if they do, pick them up, because at the end of the day, it's still money, and you can take it back to the bank and put it back in your account. But when we open this up, take a look at what we have inside. You see that one right there? And this one right here, those are actually silver coins. Now this roll right here was actually set up just as an example, but I have found thousands of dollars worth of free silver over the years just by going through $50 rolls from the bank. For example, this one right here is silver. You can tell by the edge, it's 90% from 1944, and today it's worth $11 to $12. And then this other one that I pointed out right here is a Kennedy $50. Between 1965 and 1970, these were 40% silver.
And here's how I got my first $72 silver round for $2.35. You see, every Friday I go to the bank and I make a withdrawal of $50. I withdraw it in the form of 2 rolls of quarters, 2 rolls of dimes, and 2 rolls of $50. Over the weekend, I'll sort through the coin rolls and pull out any pre-1965 pieces. Then I roll it all back up, adding back in any pocket change for any silver that I found. And any coins that are after 1965 or 70 for $50 just go right back to the bank, deposited right back into my account on Monday morning, and I lose absolutely nothing. But in the first month of doing this, I had enough constitutional silver to trade for my first 1-ounce silver round. I traded 3 pre-65 quarters, 3 1969 Kennedy $50, and 1 silver dime. Total weight of that was about 1.05 ounces of pure silver. I traded it for my first silver round, which was a generic sunshine round. Silver was at $71 in spot. There was a $1 premium, and the total cost to me was a measly $2.35. So I kept going, withdrawing more rolls each time at the bank. And within a few months, I was holding 5 ounces of silver. It's about $400 at the time of this recording here on August 1st, and it cost me approximately $20. And you can follow the same exact technique to get started. Coin roll hunting is a game of volume, and it's a game of patience, right? You might be searching through thousands of coins and you find nothing, but then all of a sudden you could find a handful of silver coins in your next roll. Each find is a little bit of a victory, at least for me anyway. Turning your time into effort is real, right? It's a valuable asset that doesn't cost you anything. And the added benefit of this, in my opinion anyway, is that it's a very therapeutic hobby, right? The stress kind of just melts away whenever you're searching the dates of coins, right? And the rabbit hole can get pretty deep if you start taking interest in other coins other than silver. There's a lot of other ways to make money and to turn coins into a profit. Now, this journey starts with a single coin, and it's all about taking action no matter how small it is. Right? If you've ever found a silver coin in your change, or if you've ever gone coin roll hunting, share your story in the comments down below. And if you find this valuable information, make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification bell for more practical ideas on how to build real wealth. Being broke isn't just about the number in your bank account. It's about watching prices go up while your savings stay flat. And it's the feeling that the game is rigged against you, because it is. Stacking silver is more than a financial strategy. It's a mindset, right? It's choosing to trade something that tends to lose value over time, your paper money, for something that has been valued for thousands of years. It's deciding to build your own lifeboat and become your own bank eventually, and you can literally watch it grow. This path won't make you a millionaire overnight. It's not going to make your electricity bill go down. Right, but it might fix the transmission in your car or help invest in a business opportunity, and ultimately you'll pass this down to your grandkids so they can invest it and build a legacy of their own. Silver's price is volatile and it takes patience, but every silver dime that you pull out of a roll, you're taking one small tangible step toward financial independence. You're building something real, something that you can hold in your hand, and something that exists outside the normal system. And in a world of uncertainty, owning something real is one of the most powerful things that you can even think of doing. You've been watching Uncle Sam Saves America, where national problems meet local solutions. Hit the like and subscribe and all of that good stuff. Check out this playlist right here for more on financial sovereignty. We'll see you in the next one.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.